counsel Don McGahn not to appear before the House Judiciary Committee. Is this obstructing justice? Amash unleashed. Tea Party Congressman Justin Amash doubles down on calling for the president's impeachment. How Trump's hitting back.
He's been a loser for a long time.
Plus, he was just crowned the newest American Idol. And Lane Hardy is taking center stage live on The View. Hot Topics are in the house with Whoopi, Abby Huntsman, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, and Meghan McCain. Now, let's get things started.
There was another empty chair at the House Judiciary Committee hearings this morning because the White House directed former counsel Don McGahn to defy the committee's subpoena to testify about instances of possible obstruction. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but of course, isn't this another instance of obstruction when you're being told don't go over there? Isn't that standing in the way of justice?
Well, I don't know if it's obstruction, but I just don't understand how...
You don't know if this is obstruction? Really?
In the legal sense. But what I don't understand is, you know, McGahn is now a private citizen. He doesn't work for the president any longer. Why is he then bound by any legal opinion by the Justice Department? I mean, I work for the Justice Department 15 years ago. Does that mean now that I'm somehow bound by what the Attorney General says I have to be bound to do?
I guess he's still one of
today?
He's one of Trump's boys still. That's what that says to me.
It's giving you that impression. Yeah. And why doesn't Trump want him to say anything? I thought he was exonerated. I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, well, is it obstruction? Do you think it's obstruction?
To defy a subpoena?
The fact that he is saying to
defy
this
subpoena.
Man, do not go. Isn't that obstruction?
I think he's in contempt of a subpoena, and I think that there'll certainly be repercussions. I think he can be fined, and I think that he can be hauled into jail for it.
Well, Mnuchin rejected subpoena over Trump's tax returns. Lindsey Graham told Donald Jr., little Fritz and son, to not honor the subpoena. The White House counsel blocking McGahn from testifying, which we're just talking about.
Right.
You know what I was thinking? I was thinking Nixon would be so... He says, I was in the wrong period of history. Because he would have gotten away with everything, just like this corrupt president is getting away with. This is an unbelievable corrupt president, corrupt administration, and the Republican Party is right behind him, and they all should be thrown into jail, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I'm actually glad you brought up Nixon, because it feels very Nixonian. I mean, if you look at Nixon's articles of impeachment, the third article really refers to Nixon's stonewalling. It refers to the fact that he refused subpoenas, that he refused to comply with subpoenas for documents, for testimony, and it's the exact same behavior that we're seeing from this administration. And I want to know, why are the Democrats not even thinking any longer about impeachment? It doesn't really make sense.
Sonny, I was there. I remember some of it.
Yeah.
You remember some of it.
I remember quite a bit of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not 100%, but they had people on the other side who played ball with the Democrats, eventually.
Yeah.
You know, in this case, you have this one guy, Amash, which I think we're going to talk about in a second.
Yes.
But that's it. They don't have anybody, and the Attorney General is defying the law also, and he is the law. Well, so then where do you go from there?
I think if you're going to hold Pelosi's I think if you're going to say that all Republicans should be in jail, all of them, that you should put Pelosi's as well, because she's not forcing impeachment either, which is apparently what. But if all Republicans should go to jail for not doing impeachment, then Democrats should be held to the same standard as well.
Well, they should go to jail for not impeaching him?
Isn't that what you want? Impeachment?
No.
Well, let me just finish really quick. 65% of voters say Democrats should not initiate impeachment proceedings against Trump. 58% say it's time to turn the page on the Russia investigation. I feel like I have been misled so many times before. I became convinced watching the news that the Mueller report was going to be the smoking gun, that everyone was looking for, having to do something with, you know, the adoption meeting in Trump Tower with Donald Trump Jr., that there was going to be some sort of connection that would have been presented in front of us, that Trump would be hauled out in handcuffs. I'm one of those people that watch enough cable news that I actually started believing it was happening. Right now, I'm a lot more skeptical. I take this with a grain of salt. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why he's not testifying, but I do know that if you want to impeach the president, you got to do better than McGahn not showing up to testify for Congress.
Well, I think they are on that road, though. They are on that road to doing it.
You're clearly frustrated this morning, and you're saying to the American public that all Republicans holding office should be in jail. So I want to know. And,
well, you know, that was what you call hyperbole.
I know, but I think that it's dangerous.
That's what it sounded like to me.
It's hyperbole.
Well, it doesn't sound that way to the Republican at the table, for whatever it's worth. It sounds a little aggressive, and I think part of the problem is there were 10,000 people at Trump's rally in Montoursville, Pennsylvania last night, which, by the way, that population only has 4,770 people.
Oh, so he imported people for the rally then. How did he get 10,000 with a population of 4,000?
I'm sure people drove there.
Oh.
And,
maybe bust them in.
Imports.
Fine.
All right, well, here's the deal. You know, I think everybody's kind of frustrated because, at least I am, because when I was a kid, there was right and wrong. There was the law, and you didn't break the law. It was very clear what the laws were. Presidents were held accountable when they did not do the right thing. We saw that with Nixon. We saw it actually with people on both sides saying, you can't do this. This is as far as we want to go.
Clinton.
Now, Clinton, I mean, we've seen it. And in part, I think part of my frustration is they were all over Clinton. They were all over Clinton, up in his mug, and he's got to do this, and he's got to testify. And I don't see the same fervor. I don't see the same fervor. I see it on the Democratic side, but then everybody says, well, you know, he was duly elected, but the guy's breaking the law. I'm sorry. You know, any other person, if you're not going to impeach the president, then none of those other people should have that kind of coverage. If you don't come and we subpoenaed you, if I see you rolling down the street in the car, I'm supposed to take you to jail. That's arrestable.
So it's illegal, but I just want to know the illegal activity that you're speaking of. I'll wait till everyone's done applauding. But the illegal activity you're speaking of, is it still collusion?
It seems.
I think you're talking about.
No, I'm not talking about
somebody being subpoenaed.
I'm talking about the subpoena. I'm talking about when the.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Someone's phone's going off.
Yeah.
I understand that you're talking about the frustration that he's not showing up to testify. It has happened in other administrations.
Yes.
The point I'm trying to make is everything is political in this moment, and that Democrats would be smarter to be spending their time trying to get someone elected than 58% of the American public thinks that they should turn the page on the Russia investigation. 65% are against impeachment.
Right. Let's make sure that we...
How it ended for Republicans with Clinton was badly.
Yes.
See, I disagree with that, only because Congress's job is to is a job of oversight. And so if you elect your congressperson to oversee the executive branch, part of that job that they have been hired to do is to look at the president, to look at the job that the president is doing, and hold that president accountable. And so they don't need to turn the page. What they need to do is take testimony. And by the way, when the Republicans were overseeing Hillary Clinton and Benghazi and spent millions and millions of dollars and years of investigation, no one had a problem
in that incident.
and no one had a problem with it on the Republican side. Yet this oversight somehow
I don't have a problem
people want to sort of
I'm
turn
talking
the
about
page.
the politics of it.
Want to turn the page.
I'm not talking about having a problem with it. I'm trying to explain the politics of it. The other thing I would like to make clear is I come here every day trying to show a different perspective, and I understand every day that I walk into this building, and basically when I walk out of my apartment, it's an unpopular one, but I do think it's important to know what's going on in Montoursville, Pennsylvania, and why 4,000 or 9,000, excuse me, extra people outside of that city would travel to see him. He's still incredibly popular in states where it matters.
Yes,
and I'm trying to give you a warning shot of how you can blow this.
But that doesn't have anything to do with what I'm talking about. That's where
it has to do with what she's talking about.
I'm curious
about. So let me finish what I'm going to say, which is we'll be right back.
All right.
Now is the time for strong women to speak out. And when these women come together, ooh, watch out, because we have our views.
If you want to change, get out and make it.
We have our voices.
Every single one of us who have a moral compass have to speak up and listen to women.
I'm a sharp-tongued woman and proud of it.
That's why when it's time to voice your view, this is where you come.
Breaking barriers is not easy, but it is worth it.
The only place in daytime taking it all on.
There's been a lot of healthy debate at this table. There are a lot of strong women around this table.
Proud of it.
You strong.
Be strong, be bold.
All day long.
And that is why it's called The View.
Still ahead, the latest American Idol, Lane Hardy, shares his 2-season journey to victory and performs live on our stage.
Welcome back. You know, we were sort of talking about all the stuff that's going on. You were talking about the amount of people that were at his rally. And my question remains, you know, are we rallying, are they rallying around him because they like this idea that the law is no longer the law? That worries me. That worries me. The idea that some of the things that have been coming out of the woodwork are problematic, you know, voting rights and whether Brown versus Board of Education is something that is going to be in question.
And Roe v. Wade, too.
And I mean, there are so many things happening, and it makes me wonder. And yeah, he has people come out to his things, but you know, it's still early. But I think that the idea you were talking about, Nancy Pelosi doesn't think it's a good move, but I think she will allow her people to say, we think we should do this, and if they feel the majority wants to go in a direction, she'll probably move.
I have to say, I appreciate that you bring the Trump supporters into this, because I do like to hear what they have to say. I watch all of those town halls. I watched all the ones at Fox so far. I'm interested in a couple of things. I'm fascinated also that you're so concerned about the Democrats. Do you want a Democrat to win?
No, I've said many times in my fantasy Paul Ryan's president.
Yeah, but he's not running.
I know. I can't get behind any of these Democrats right now from what I've seen so far, and we don't know who the nominee is.
But you seem worried about the Democrats. You
no, I think
bring that up.
I think that...
And you like Joe Biden.
Impeachment. Everyone knows I like Joe Biden. I mean, look at my Instagram. He helped me through my father's cancer. Everyone knows that. I will say that, I mean, it doesn't, you guys, I'm not changing your minds this morning, and honestly, I've said all I had to say.
And the other interesting thing was one of these Trump supporters that you're talking about, why don't they care about the rule of law? I once quoted in one of the shows I saw, I don't care about his tax returns. I only care about my job. And many people in this country believe, I think incorrectly, that he's bringing manufacturing back and coal jobs back and what have you. And that
coal is never coming back.
Yeah, well, they don't want to hear that.
No one's burning coal. It's not going to happen.
They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it from Hillary Clinton, and they don't want to hear it now.
But I do think we have been hearing, unfortunately, from many farmers that have been affected by these Chinese tariffs.
Yeah.
And they are losing the
Please, it's a Trump tax.
Because Americans are paying the higher prices. The Chinese are not paying these tariffs. And I've been watching Fox News, as I often do. I watch all of the different news programs, and I have seen over and over again many more farmers saying, wow, my livelihoods are, this is different than what I expected, and my livelihood has been affected. And I think more and more, even though we have so many people that are attending these rallies in the middle of the country and in farming areas, I think once they are being affected, more and more, I think their minds are going to be changed.
Right. Well, there's this Tea Party star congressman named Justin Amash. He's a Republican who said he read the entire Mueller report, and it lays the case for impeachment hearings. And he just doubled down on it. And here's how you know who is hitting back at him.
Well, I've known him, and he's been against Trump from the beginning. He probably wants to run for some other office. I don't think he'll do very well. He's been a loser for a long time. Rarely votes for Republicans. And, you know, personally, I think he's not much.
Yeah. What'd you expect?
Well, it's kind of insulting to the people who actually did vote for him.
Yeah.
To think that,
you know, the good thing about, one of the things about this, well, one of the two things about him, number one, Romney was asked, would you follow suit? And he punted. And I'm sorry I took my picture with him now.
You know, I did warn you about him.
You did.
And you
I did warn you.
You were hanging out with him heavy at Anna's wedding.
I was hanging out with him at Anna's wedding, and now I'm disassociating.
And dancing and everything, by the way.
He had a chance to save his soul, and he blew it. That's one thing. Number two, I think that this guy, Amash, could really hurt Trump. Not because he's the sole guy on the Republican Party who's actually speaking truth to power, but because also he could run on the Libertarian ticket and Ralph Nader Trump. You know what I mean by Ralph Nader him?
Yeah.
I'm using Ralph Nader as a verb because Ralph Nader basically put George W. Bush in office against Al Gore. And I think that he could do that to him because there are a lot of people who like this guy, who believe in the libertarian principles and do care about the rule of law and will vote for him, thus throwing the corrupt guy in chief out. So I look at this guy as a hero.
What I really appreciated about it is that he said, after reading the entire Mueller report, I feel that there are grounds for impeachment. I was so surprised after the Mueller report was released and looking at all the cable news channels, and everyone was saying, there's not much to do about nothing. There's nothing there. It didn't change my mind. And I immediately thought, then they didn't read it because it's over 400 pages and it's just so clear that there was obstruction.
He said they didn't read it.
It's so clear. They didn't read it. So you've got a guy who's in government, he's a congressman, Michigan law school, an attorney who's a Republican, libertarian, who says, after reading it, there are grounds for impeachment. He should be impeached. That makes a big difference. And I challenge the Republicans. Read the darn report.
But you know what's funny? Here's the thing about that. I want to hear Mueller tell it because I'm a TV person and most Americans are.
Yeah.
They would like to see, coming from the horse's mouth, what did you put in that report? I want Mueller on television. That's another thing. Why is Donald Jr. in a closed testimony? So why isn't he on television?
I don't mind hearing from Mueller, but I want to hear from the underlying witnesses.
All of them on
I want to hear from McGahn. I want to hear from Trump Jr. I want to hear from everyone else. That was the difference during the Nixon hearings.
Yes.
They didn't just hear from the lawyer that issued the report. They heard from everyone else, and that was the change of the time.
We've heard from, this is the new thing, that we hear from everybody, and now suddenly
no one's showing up.
Quiet.
Really quick, Ralph Nader got Bush elected.
Yeah, that's what she said.
I know, but it went to the Republicans, not the Democrats, when Ralph Nader was a spoiler. Just the historical context.
Ralph Nader was a spoiler.
I know, for Bush.
Yes.
But and if you're using Justin Amash as an example as a libertarian running, and Justin Amash, by the way, is a hardcore libertarian. I mean, he is my husband is a libertarian. I have a ton of friends that are libertarians. It's a small, very fervent political group of people in the country, and they are disciples to him. So I think that some of this is politically motivated for the reason you said, of him ultimately running for president.
Well, it's going to be interesting because here's a political hot topic. Really, I'm happy. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That I'm very happy about. Sabrina Fulton, the mother of Trayvon Martin, announced that she is going to run for a commission seat in Miami-Dade County, Florida. Now, it's great. This is a great thing because this woman is taking that grief that never goes, and she's channeling it, and she wants to make a change. And I challenge anybody who feels like they are powerless to take a page from Sabrina's book.
Yeah.
Get out there.
Can I mention one quick thing? Lucy McBath, her son Jordan was also murdered. She was sitting in the Judicial Committee hearing today as a congressperson. Today.
Yeah.
She was sitting there.
There you go.
Amazing.
We'll be right back.
Still a summer scorcher at viewyourdeal.com. We partnered with vendors for half-off products made for fun in the sun. So get to viewyourdeal.com now.
Okay. Did you hear music?
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes I'm not sure. It's the medication. So we're now talking about Denise Richards is the newest Real Housewife of Beverly Hills, and she's wasting no time letting people get to know her by revealing, I guess, really intimate details of her sex life to the other housewife, while her husband is sitting right there uncomfortably. Why? Why do you need to know all of this? I mean, do people really need to know about your friends? Is this important?
I think it's bragging rights, isn't it? Oh, my husband, you know, like that. Yeah. And he can really da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
I think so.
You know, I don't want them to beat me, because you know what I'm talking about. He's really got, you know,
Yeah. Exactly.
Didn't she used to be married to Charlie Sheen?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Her husband's face was so red. Did you see that?
But why do it?
He was mortified.
I guess, listen, why am I asking this dopey question? It's the housewives.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
But women do.
But I don't know people who sit around with their husbands sitting there and talk business like
I have a friend.
Of course you do.
Sunny has more friends.
She has more friends and more chickens. It's crazy.
You know who used to have a lot of friends? Lisa Ling. Remember Lisa Ling?
Yeah.
She always had a friend.
You know who also?
Who?
Sherry had a lot of friends.
Sherry Shepherd.
Joy, you've met though, Mike.
I know. Her friends are real. I don't know about
you've met them.
Yeah.
The couple that you met in the Hamptons.
Oh, those two.
They talk about their sex life
in front of each other and friends.
In front of us, and it's very disgusting and uncomfortable.
So you didn't get that close to them yet. You're not that close because they haven't discussed it in front of you.
No,
okay.
But it's uncomfortable.
What do you do when that happens?
We're all like.
How come nobody says, could y'all just keep that to yourself?
I know, we've never done that.
Why not?
We've never done that. I don't know.
Because y'all really do want to know what's going on. That's really what it is.
You guys talk about it on here. You guys talk about it on here. There were many culture shocks when I first came to the show, but one of them was Paula and Sarah talked about their sex life on air all the time. And as someone who never has, never will, it's a hard line as you make fun of. I think it's trashy to be like out there with your business to everybody. No offense to my former hosts, they're lovely people, but for me, I just think it's private between you and your man or
I never talk. Y'all don't know who I'm doing.
No.
We'll be right back. Welcome back. I don't know what she just said to me. She said so. But a survey by dating app Plenty of Fish.
Wow. That's a new dating app?
That's the name of the dating app.
It's an old dating app.
Plenty of
My friend met her husband on that.
Plenty of fish.
Plenty of fish.
It's the free one.
In other words, there are so many fish in the sea.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
On the nose. Bing.
Thank you.
Nice.
They found that 1/3 of friendships, 1/3 of friendships have ended over a friend hooking up with an ex, but that the younger generation doesn't have as much of a problem with it.
Oh.
Now, I know this is breaking news.
Try to get behind this one.
But see how you feel about it. How would you feel if your friend dated your ex?
Fine, you can have him. Take my wife, please.
I don't like it. I mean, I think
it's your ex.
You don't care. What do you care?
Yeah, but
it's your ex.
But how do you vacation together?
Who said you have to vacation together?
Because it's like if you have a small group of friends and you're vacationing together.
Why are you doing that's freaky to me. Okay, I'm sorry.
But I'm thinking, well, you know what? Maybe it's just a generation where you're not really serious about the person. Like I've had serious boyfriends, but maybe it's just people you've gone out on a couple of dates with. I guess maybe that wouldn't bother you.
I think this is talking about dating your ex, having sex with your ex, people that that you would go to dinner with.
Well, if you've had sex with them, if you've seen them naked, your friend can't date them.
Is that the rule? That's the Sunny rule.
Am I right?
It's a new rule.
You can't. You can't. Your friend can't date someone you have seen naked. That's a bright line.
You have to understand something about her. She travels as a pack.
I do.
She has a pack of people. So if one goes rogue, then the whole thing gets thrown off.
It does. Right? So, yeah, but I mean, I guess if it's just somebody, that you went out to dinner with, I mean, I guess it's okay.
I don't think that's what
they're not talking about. They're saying
they're talking about
someone that they've seen naked?
Yes. Someone that they're having a relationship with.
Nah.
Okay.
You know, it's funny. You don't
Exes are exes for a reason.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I think.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, all my exes are dead.
Yeah.
Not really, but I don't talk to them. We don't communicate. Like, go ahead, date whoever you want.
Yeah.
We're done. I got married.
See, I'm friends with some of my exes, and I don't care who they. I don't care who they're doing.
But what if Joy shows up with one of your exes?
What about it? Listen, you know, there are too many people in the planet.
If you wanted to date one of my exes, Joy.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Man, that would be like you going out with Steve. You know, that would be ridiculous.
You wouldn't like it.
I wouldn't. Well, if I was divorced from him,
yeah,
go and have a good time.
What?
I know.
Did you hear that, Steve?
Steve knows that.
Yeah.
But you know, I wouldn't want him to get any of my money. That's a whole other conversation. You know, like you have a husband and you leaving. Right. No one's allowed to spend my money with a new woman, that's for sure.
If you're dead, who cares?
I do. Then I can't. That's different. That's a whole other conversation.
That's right. I'll be here to channel you if you decide to come back. We'll be back in a minute.
Hey y'all, it's Lane Hardy, and I just won American Idol. I'm coming up with you next.
Comeback kid of American Idol, Lane Hardy, turning his second audition in 2 seasons into a sing-along with the judges. Here to tell us about his journey from underdog to American Idol, please welcome Lane Hardy.
I'm doing good.
Good, you look good.
Good, thank you.
Look good, man.
Well, Lane, you just walked out to your live rendition of Fat Bottomed Girls, a song you performed on Queen Night on American Idol. And last year you auditioned for Idol and got cut right before the top 50. But this year you showed up in front of the Idol judges, but not to audition, because actually you were there to play guitar for a friend who was auditioning. And once the judges noticed you were there, they begged you to try out again. How was this time different for you?
This time was so crazy because last year you said I got cut at the top 50 or whatever.
Yeah.
I went and played 4-hour shows every weekend and stuff after that. And then going into it, I was more confident in myself, and I was...
Even though you weren't even going to try out.
I know. I mean, I did not go in there thinking that I was going to get the golden ticket and go back to Hollywood Week and
That's a lucky
do everything.
break. That's what you call a lucky break. You happen to be at the right place at the right time.
Yes, ma'am.
Talk to me about these rings. What are these?
My mom got me this one for Christmas. She said, I always want you to think about me and stuff. And,
and the horseshoe?
The horseshoe. One of a family friend of ours, this is her dad's ring. She gave it to me for good luck.
And you're 18.
Yes, ma'am.
That, 18. Amazing. It's just an amazing story.
Yeah.
Now, how lucky are you to have been mentored by 3 great artists like Lionel Richie, Katy Perry, and Luke Bryan? In one word, how would you describe each one? So let's start with Lionel.
Okay. Lionel, he's wise.
Yeah, wise.
Katy
Perry?
She's wild.
And Luke?
Luke is country.
I like that. I like that.
Yes. Well, when you first joined the show, you were a laid-back boy from Livingston, Louisiana. I want to give a shout-out to your hometown. And as you progressed, you were sort of this laid-back country singer, and now you have a different side, especially when it comes to your clothes. Can you tell us about the progression?
Because the jacket is fierce.
Well, with me, I'm still that person I was a year ago, 2 years ago. And there's no possible way I can change my personality or my mind.
Already at 18, you're all set, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
But,
so you're still going to go gator hunting and
I'm still
fishing?
Gonna do all that stuff.
Okay,
yes,
good.
And crawfish?
Eat crawfish, jambalaya, pasta.
Live crawfish pie.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, we all love your style here and think it's unique, and you wanted to be part of your style team here, so we actually have something for you that we're excited to show. It says a few on it.
I like that.
Should I put it on?
So, of course, put it on. I love it, and we wanted to gift because I love the like Johnny Cash-esque nature of all of this. And look, when you go on tour, you can be like, look how much I love The View. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, he had to take out his mic. I can just put it on too.
Oh, they're saying not to take it off. Put it on now.
Sorry. Okay, I'm putting it on. I'm going to borrow it right now. I'll give it to you when you're done singing. How about that? Okay?
He's Mike.
So,
I love this. This is my new thing. Thank you very much.
I love it.
Thank you. This will be for you now.
that was very, very interesting. Elaine, you know, you have a whole bunch of fans right now. I have so much I want to say to you, but we got to get to what you are doing here.
Yes,
and we happen to have two great fans of yours here in the audience. So, Brenda...
about saying goodbye to Modern Family. And ABC News chief legal analyst Dan Abrams takes on legal hot topics. From the college admissions scandal to rumors of a family feud over Britney Spears' fortune.
So we're back. We're sitting, hanging out with Lane. You know, we're just talking about stuff. And this must be a big change for you. Have you taken a deep breath yet and said, oh, this is what happened, or are you just rolling?
I'm constantly rolling, and I haven't had really much thought into taking a deep breath, but that's probably a good idea.
Yeah. It's never a bad idea to take a breath, and when you're not sure, take a moment.
Yes, ma'am.
And make a decision instead of just leaping, and it'll help. And something wonderful is happening. Our neighbors down the street, and we hope that you will come and pay us a visit soon, as everybody often does when they come from Sesame Street. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. What's your next move?
Yes.
I'm going to see my mom and everybody.
Oh, it's so close.
I'm going to the river. I'm going to the river with all my buddies.
Going on the river?
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that.
That's what I'm doing this summer.
We go start making music after I get a little home time.
I'm feeling it, Elvis, a little bit of a reincarnation here.
I didn't want to put the thing on him, but you know, there is a little bit of that, but you know, that's never a bad thing.
No, it's a good thing.
It's never a bad thing, and you got the spark. That's why you won, because you got that thing. You are the American Idol. So do me a favor, baby. Can you see that monitor? What it says there?
Yes, ma'am.
Will you read that?